Greetings to everyone. I hope you are doing well today. Thank you for taking the time to join us today for this report presentation. I am excited to share with you the findings and insight that we gather on the chapter 3 in special and inclusive education. Let's dive into the details and explore the key highlights together. Here are the topics that we present to all of you. First, we have the principle. Next one is the policy. Third, we have the dimension. Fourth, the principle of special and inclusive education in the Philippines. Next, the dimension of special and inclusive education in the Philippines. Next one, we have the policies in the Philippines together with the RA 77 or the RA 7277, the dimension of special and inclusive education in the Philippines, and last but not the least, the process of inclusion in the Philippines. Now, we can start.
Equality and equity. Every student has the right to an education that is both equal and equitable, ensuring that individual needs are recognized and addressed. Equality and equity are related concepts but have different meanings. Equality refers to ensuring that everyone has the same resources, opportunities, and rights regardless of their circumstances. Equity, on the other hand, involves giving everyone what they need to be successful, which may require different treatment or resources based on individual needs and circumstances. While equality aims for fairness by treating everyone the same, equity aims for fairness by recognizing and addressing differences.
Diversity and inclusivity refers to ensuring that students with disabilities are fully integrated into educational settings alongside their peers without disabilities, and that their unique needs and perspectives are valued and accommodated. In a diverse special education classroom, a teacher ensures inclusion by implementing inclusive teaching strategies. For example, visual aids such as diagrams and charts are provided for students with visual impairments. Hands-on activities are arranged for tactile learners, and simplified language and communication tools are used for students with intellectual disabilities. By adapting the lesson to meet the diverse needs of all students, the teacher promotes inclusivity and ensures that every student can participate and learn effectively.
Sa individualization naman, nire-recognize natin yung mga strength and weaknesses of every students with diverse needs. Also, mas lalo sa mga special and inclusive learners na which is kailangan nila ng mas maraming attention and focus ng teachers para mabigay yung mga learning styles, learning materials nila. Since individualization itong pinag-uusapan, meron silang pagkakaiba-ibang strengths. So, kailangan natin paghusayan yung pagtuturo natin para ma-motivate and ma-develop yung mga strengths na yun. And also, kailangan natin mag-provide ng mga different strategies on how to handle those students para at least malesen yung nararamdaman nila na nag-iisa sila. So, dito sa individualization, kailangan natin na ma-cater yung mga kailangan ng students para mapalago nila yung growth nila sa learning.
Access and participation ensure that all students, regardless of abilities or disabilities, have equal access to educational opportunities and can actively participate in the learning process. Ensuring equal access and participation in education means removing barriers that may prevent students with disabilities from fully engaging in learning activities. This can involve providing accommodations, modifications, and support services tailored to individual needs. For example, providing materials in alternative formats such as braille or audio for visually impaired students ensure they can access the same information as their peers. Additionally, offering assistive technologies like screen readers or speech to text software enables students with mobility impairments to actively participate in classroom discussion, and complete assignments.
Collaboration in the principles of special and inclusive education is crucial for ensuring that all students, regardless of their abilities, receive appropriate support and opportunities to learn and thrive. This collaboration involves educators, parents, support staff, and the broader community to create a comprehensive and cohesive support system for students with diverse needs, and also they working together to create inclusive environments where every student feels valued and supported. Collaboration in the principles of special and inclusive education is paramount for several reasons. First is the comprehensive support. Collaborating allows educators, specialists, and support staff to pool their expertise and resources, ensuring that students with diverse needs receive comprehensive support that addresses their academic, social, emotional, and behavioral requirements. Second is individualized learning. Collaboration enables the development and implementation of individualized education plans or IEPs, or personalized interventions tailored to each student's unique strengths, challenges, and learning styles. This personalized approach maximizes the potential for student success. Next one is shared knowledge and best practices. Collaborating facilitates the sharing of knowledge, experiences, and best practices among educators. By learning from one another, educators can enhance their skills, refine their instructional strategies, and stay abreast of the latest research and techniques in special education. The next one is consistency and continuity. Collaboration ensures consistency and continuity of support for students as they transition between grade levels, classrooms, or educational settings. This seamless continuity promotes stability and progress in students' learning journeys, minimizing disruptions and maximizing their educational outcomes. Next is promotion of inclusion. Collaboration fosters a culture of inclusion within schools and communities by promoting understanding, acceptance, and support for students with disabilities or special needs. By working together, educators can create inclusive environments where all students feel valued, respected, and empowered to participate fully in school life. Next is parental involvement. Collaboration encourages the involvement of parents and caregivers in their child's education. By actively engaging parents as partners in the educational process, educators can gain valuable insights into the unique strengths, needs, and preferences of each student, fostering stronger homeschool partnerships and empowering parents to advocate effectively for their child's educational rights and needs. The next one is professional growth. Collaboration provides opportunities for professional growth and development for educators. By collaborating with colleagues from diverse backgrounds and areas of expertise, educators can expand their knowledge, refine their skills, and develop innovative approaches to teaching and supporting students with special needs. Overall, collaboration in special and inclusive education is essential for creating equitable, supportive, and inclusive learning environments that enable all students to reach their full potential. By working together, educators, families, and communities can ensure that every student receives the individualized support and opportunities they need to succeed in school and beyond.
Legal protections establish and enforce policies that protect the rights of students with disability, ensuring compliance with laws such as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act or equivalent regulations. Ang mga patakaran na nagtataguyod at nagpapatupad ng mga proteksyon sa mga karapatan ng mga mag-aaral na may kapansanan ay mahalaga upang matiyak na sila ay mabibigyan ng tamang pag-aaruga at oportunidad sa edukasyon. Isa sa mga batas na nagbibigay ng mga gabay at protection para dito ay ang Individuals with Disability Education Act. Ang ideya ay naglalayong siguraduhin na ang mga mag-aaral na may kapansanan ay makakatanggap ng libreng at angkop na edukasyon sa mga pampubliko at pribadong paaralan. Halimbawa, kung may isang estudyante na may kapansanan sa pandinig, ang paaralan ay dapat na magbigay ng serbisyong tulad ng sign language interpreter or assistive listening devices upang matiyak na siya ay makasunod sa klase at makakuha ng wastong edukasyon na naaayon sa kanyang pangailangan. Sa pamamagitan ng pagpapatupad ng mga pulisiya tulad ng mga ito, pinoprotektahan ng paaralan ang karapatan ng mga mag-aaral na may kapansanan at sumusunod sa mga legal na alituntunin tulad ng ideya.
Second, inclusive practices in special and inclusive education policies aims to provide equitable and supportive educational environments for all students, regardless of their abilities. These practices are centered on the belief that every child can learn and succeed when given the right support. Inclusive practices in special and inclusive education policies focus on creating welcoming and accessible learning environments, ensuring that all students have the opportunity to learn and thrive, irrespective of their background or ability level. These practices are based on the principles of inclusivity, equitable access, individualized support, and supportive classroom environment, aiming to foster a sense of belonging and success for all students.
Professional development in effective inclusive teaching refers to continual training and learning opportunities that aim to improve educators' skills, knowledge, and practices for creating inclusive learning environment in which all students, regardless of ability or background, can thrive. This may include workshops, courses, conference, and collaborative activities focused on understanding diverse students' needs, implementing inclusive instructional strategies, utilizing assistive technologies, fostering positive classroom climates, and promoting equity and diversity. This may involve workshops, courses, conference, and collaborative activities focused on understanding varied student needs, creating inclusive educational practices, and using assistance.
Assessment and evaluation. The assessment and evaluation emphasize the importance of developing assessment and evaluation practices that are fair and inclusive, especially for students with diverse learning style. The assessment should not be limited to the traditional methods such as written exam, but should also include alternative methods that allow students to demonstrate their understanding in a way that align with their individual learning style. Each approach acknowledges that students have different ways of learning and expressing their knowledge and aims to create a more equitable assessment process that accommodates these differences.
So what is transitional planning? So sabi, transitional planning is to establish policies that facilitate smooth transition for students with special needs between different educational level and into post-education life. So ibig sabihin sa transitional planning, kailangan diverse yung pagbibigay ng direction or policy sa mga tao or sa mga bata na merong special needs or kailangan ng pagtuunan ng pansin. Para nang sa ganon, mas mabilis nilang mauunawaan yung mga bagay na ginagawa at itinuturo mo sa kanila, nang hindi rin sila nahihirapan na makisabay sa mga normal people kahit papaano.
4 dimensions, we have curricular adaptations, is about modify and adapt the curriculum to meet the diverse needs of learners, ensuring that it is accessible and relevant to all students. So, ayan po yung pag-change ng curriculum sa naaangkop sa iba't ibang pangangailangan ng mga bata sapagkat alam po natin na ang mga learners ay may iba't ibang learning skills which is kailangan nating i-change or adapt. For example, yung mga activities natin na mamimit yung pangkalahatan at hindi lamang para sa iisa. For the second one, we have support services. It is to provide a range of support services, including special education teachers, aides, and therapists. It is to address the specific needs of students with disabilities. So, ang support services ay possible daw po mga education teachers, aides, or therapists. So, kung ano't ano man yung mangyari sa mga estudyante, for example, merong may hika, kung magkaroon man ng trouble of breathing, merong mag-help sa kanila at merong tutulong sa kanila at merong may alam ng sitwasyon nila at mahahandle ito ng mabuti. So, kailangan ito sa school na meron tayong mga support services para kung ano't ano man, alam natin yung gagawin at para ma-enhance pa yung learning capabilities ng bawat estudyante na may iba't ibang kakayahan o yung mga estudyante with special disabilities or student with special needs.
When we say social and emotional learning or SEL, it is a process that focuses on developing and utilizing social and emotional skills. These skills empower individuals to navigate daily challenges, build positive relationships, and make informed decisions. For instance, social emotional learning or SEL is a strength-based developmental process that begins at birth and evolves across the lifespan. It encompasses the skills necessary for healthy and developmental and positive relationship throughout life. Okay, we have also parental involvement. When we say parental involvement, it refers to parents' participation in their children's education both at home and within the school environment. It encompasses various forms of engagement, all aimed to enhancing the educational experience and academic performance of the students. And we have also forms of parental involvement. First, we have helping with homework. Parents can provide guidance, support, and encouragement to their children while they are completing their homework assignment. Second, we have school events, attending school events. Uh, it says that showing support by attending open houses, parent teacher conference, and school plays. Third, we have also participating in decision-making processes. Parents can have a voice in their child's education by joining school committees or parent-teacher organizations. And also, under forms of parental involvement, we have regular communication with teachers. So it is very important. Uh, through staying informed through channel like Facebook, email, phone calls, or in-person meetings. Then, last, we have also volunteering in the classroom, contributing directly by volunteering during classroom activities or serving on committees. So, it is important that we have a parental involvement.
Equality and non-discrimination. The Philippines recognizes the right of every individual to education without discrimination. Special and inclusive education aims to provide equal opportunities for all learners, irrespective of their disabilities or abilities. In the Philippines, the principle of equality and non-discrimination in education means that every individual has the right to access education without facing any form of discrimination. This includes ensuring that individuals with disabilities have equal opportunities to receive education alongside their peers without disabilities. Special and inclusive education programs are designed to cater to the diverse needs of learners, aiming to provide equal access to quality education for all, regardless of their abilities or disabilities. This approach emphasizes creating an inclusive learning environment where every student can thrive and reach their full potential.
Individualization in special and inclusive education refers to tailoring educational experiences, supports, and intervention to meet the unique needs of each student. It recognizes that students with disabilities or diverse learning needs require personalized approaches to learning, accommodations, and modifications to access the curriculum effectively. Individualization involves assessing students' strengths, challenges, interests, and learning styles to develop customized learning plans that maximize their potential for academic, social, and emotional growth. This approach aims to promote equity, access, and success for all learners within inclusive settings, fostering a supportive environment where each student can thrive. The last principle of special and inclusive education is partnership and collaboration, which refers to the cooperative efforts among various stakeholders, including educators, families, students, and community members, to support the learning and development of all students, particularly those with disabilities or learning needs. So, first one is educator collaboration. This involves teamwork among teachers, special educators, support staff, and administrators to design and implement effective instructional strategies, accommodations, and intervention. Second one is family engagement. Collaboration with families is essential for understanding students' strengths, needs, and preferences outside the school environment. Educators partner with parents, caregivers, and guardians to develop individualized education plans, set goals, and provide ongoing communication and support to ensure consistency between home and school. The third one is the school involvement collaboration, which students empowers them to take an active role in their educational and advocate for their own needs. Educators engage students in decision-making processes, goal setting, and self-advocacy training to promote ownership of their learning and foster independence. The fourth one is community partnership. Collaboration with community organizations, agencies, and service providers extend the range of support available to students and their families. Partnerships with healthcare providers, advocacy groups, vocational training programs, and businesses facilitate access to resources, services, and opportunities beyond the school setting. So overall, partnership and collaboration in special and inclusive education promote a team-based approach to supporting the diverse needs of students, fostering inclusive environment where all individuals are valued, respected, and supported to reach their full potential.
7277. The Magna Carta for Disabled Persons in the Philippines ensures rights and welfare protection for persons with disabilities. It mandates equal employment opportunities, accessibility in public buildings and transportation, inclusive education, healthcare service, social integration programs, and vocational training. The law aims to create a barrier-free and inclusive society, penalizing violations and enforcing PWD rights.
Republic Act Number 10533 or also known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 o mas kilala natin bilang K-12. It is a significant legislation in the Philippines aimed at improving the country's basic education system and acted to strengthen the curriculum and extend the number of years for basic education. This act focuses on enhancing the quality of education and preparing students for the demands of the modern world. RA 10533 focused on improving the quality of relevance of education in the Philippines by enhancing the basic education system, aligning it with the international standards, and preparing students for future challenges and opportunities.
Next, we have DepEd orders. DepEd issues guidelines and policies to support the implementation of inclusive education, including early intervention programs. These orders provide direction for the development and implementation of inclusive practices in schools. So, what is the DepEd order in inclusive education? We have DepEd Order number 44, Series of 2021, provided a better environment for all learners to collaborate, regardless of their issues or differences, and sought to make schools inclusive. This shall ensure that students with disability are included in mainstream or general education classes.
An early intervention program in special education refers to a set of services and supports designed to address the developmental needs of infants and young children who have developmental delays or disabilities. This program is aimed to provide target assistance as early as possible to maximize child's development and minimize the impact of their disabilities. The goal of early intervention is to identify and address developmental delays or disabilities in children from birth to age 3. As a research shows that it is a critical period for brain development and learning. This program typically involves a multidisciplinary approach with input from professionals such as educators, speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, and psychologists. Early intervention programs may include various services such as first, developmental assessment to identify areas of need. Second, individualized education plans or IEP tailored to the child's specific needs and goals. Third, speech therapy to address communication delays or disorders. Fourth, occupationally therapy to improve fine motor skills and activities of daily living. Fifth, physical therapy to enhance gross motor skills and mobility. 6. Parent education and support to help families understand their child's needs and how to support their development. 7. Socialization opportunities through playgroups or social skill training. 8. Coordination with other community resources and services. There are some programs that related to early intervention program. Early intervention programs are typically provided through a combination of home-based services, center-based services, community-based services, depending on the needs of that child and family. The overarching aims is to support children with developmental delays or disabilities, enriching their full potential and to empower families to advocate for their children's needs.
In the context of special and inclusive education in the Philippines, an inclusive curriculum and assessment aim to cater to the diverse learning needs of all students, including those with disabilities or special needs. This involves designing educational materials, activities, and assessments that are accessible and adaptable to accommodate various learning styles, abilities, and backgrounds. Inclusive curriculum development focuses on creating learning materials and activities that are flexible, culturally relevant, and responsive to the needs of diverse learners. This might involve incorporating multimedia resources, adjusting instructional strategies, and providing support materials such as visual aids or assistive technologies. Assessment in inclusive education goes beyond traditional methods to ensure that all students have opportunities to demonstrate their knowledge and skills. This may involve using alternative assessment formats such as portfolios, projects, or performance-based assessments, which allow students to showcase their abilities in ways that align with their strengths and preferences. Furthermore, assessment practices should be fair, equitable, and free from bias, taking into account individual differences and providing appropriate accommodations or modifications as needed. This ensures that students with disabilities or special needs are not disadvantaged by the assessment process and have equal opportunities to succeed academically. Overall, an inclusive curriculum and assessment system in the Philippines should promote the full participation and achievement of all learners, regardless of their backgrounds or abilities, fostering a supportive and inclusive learning environment for everyone.
Teacher training and professional development. There is an emphasis on training teachers and educational personnel in strategies for inclusive education. Professional development programs aim to equip educators with the skills needed to support students with diverse needs effectively. So, ang pagpapalawak sa kaalaman at kasanayan ng mga guro sa pamamagitan ng mga kasanayan at programang pampropesyonal na naglalayong suportahan ang mga mag-aaral na may iba't ibang pangangailangan ay mahalaga sa larangan ng edukasyon. Halimbawa, sa isang pagsasanay sa inclusive education, maaaring turuan ang mga guro kung paano magbigay ng mas maraming suporta at pasalita sa mga mag-aaral na may special needs sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng iba't ibang mga estratehiya at teknik. Ang layunin ay magpalakas ang kakayahan ng mga guro na maipatupad ang mga adaptasyon sa kurikulum at pagtuturo upang matugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng lahat ng mag-aaral sa kanilang pangkat.
Accessible facilities and resources. So, schools are encouraged to provide accessible physical environments and resources to accommodate learners with disabilities. So, this includes ramps, special education, classroom, and assistive technologies. So, ang accessible facilities and resources po ay tumutukoy sa mga pasilidad at kagamitan na maaaring na madaling gamitin o abutin para sa mga taong may disability o may kapansanan. Dito po ay naglalayong bigyan ng pantay na pagkakataon at pag-assess sa mga serbisyo at lugar para sa lahat ng tao, kahit mayroon man po silang special na pangangailangan. Process of inclusion in the Philippine models. The Philippine education system aims for inclusive education, offering equal opportunities for all learners, including those with diverse needs. Efforts by the government and educational institutions seek to integrate students with disabilities or special needs into a mainstream schools, though special policies and practices have may change over time. So here's an overview of the inclusive education process in the Philippine models.
So, policy framework. So, policy framework is the Philippine government that develop policies that support the inclusive education. The Department of Education, also the DepEd, issues that the inclusive education policy aiming to provide quality education for all learners regardless of their abilities or disabilities. So, sa Philippines, makikita natin na magkaroon talaga ng support between the educational system, lalo na sa DepEd, sa pagbibigay nila ng insurance sa mga tao na merong disabilities order. So, kagaya na lamang sa mga areas ng mga elementary school or higher school, meron silang mga ino-offer na special education program para sa mga tao na may special needs. So sa ganitong pamamaraan, kahit papaano, tuloy-tuloy yung flow ng tawag niyan, pag-guide para sa mga tao na merong disability disorder or person with disability.
Teacher training. Teachers are trained to handle diverse learning needs. These include understanding various disabilities and learning style, using appropriate teaching methodologies, and creating accessible learning materials. Teachers undergo training to effectively address the diverse learning needs of their students. This training encompasses gaining knowledge about different disabilities and learning styles, learning appropriate teaching methods, and creating accessible learning materials. Additionally, teachers adapt the curriculum to ensure that all students can access and engage the educational content, employing strategies such as modifying the pace, depth, or complexity of instruction, providing additional support, or using alternative assessment methods. The aim is to create an inclusive and supportive learning environment where every student can succeed.
Curriculum adaptation. The curriculum is designed to be flexible and adaptable to cater to the diverse learning needs of all students. Differentiated instruction is emphasized to accommodate various learning styles and abilities. Curricular adaptations are adjustments and modifications implemented in the classroom and in the materials used to adapt them to specific needs of students with a disability may have.
Ensuring physical accessibility in schools means creating an environment where every student, including those with mobility challenges, can navigate the school facilities without barriers. This involves the installation of ramps, elevators, and other amenities to promote inclusivity and provide equal opportunities for all students to access education and participate in school life. So by prioritizing physical accessibility, schools demonstrate a commitment to fostering a welcoming and supportive environment for students of diverse abilities.
Resource allocation. It involves decision making from higher ups or those people who are involved in teaching to utilize those resources, available resources such as facilities, materials, yung mga specialized trainer or yung mga specialized staffs for that inclusive education. And in comparison to normal or the traditional classroom setting, in an inclusive education, there is much more demand in terms of resources, which is also because they want to cater the different or diverse learners with different needs. So it is much more demanding in terms of resources. And by allocating those resources, the goal of inclusive education must be met.
Next one, we have the parents and community involvement. So sabi dito, parents and communities are actively involved in the inclusion progress. They play a crucial role in understanding and support the unique needs of learners with disabilities. So malaki yung factor ng community members kasama ng parents sapagkat kung ano man yung mga decision making, problem or progress ng isang students or ng isang learners, sila yung pwede nating ma-assess para mabigyan ng proper handle or proper handle care kung ano dapat yung mga hindi dapat ibigay or gawin sa mga anak nila or sa mga kakilala nila na merong special needs or disability.
So the next one is parent and community involvement. Parents and communities are actively involved in the inclusion process. They play a crucial role in understanding and supporting the unique needs of learners with disabilities. So why is it important? Fostering strong partnership between schools, parents, and communities serves as a catalyst for social improvement. By promoting inclusivity, diversity, and mutual respect, these partnerships contribute to the creation of cohesive and resilient communities.
Collaborating with special education centers can be incredibly rewarding. It allows for the sharing of resources, expertise, and strategies to better support students with diverse needs, whether it's through joint workshops, co-teaching arrangements, or sharing of materials. Such collaborations can greatly enhance the educational experience for all involved. For example, a local elementary school partners with a nearby special education center to create an inclusive classroom environment. Teachers from both institutions co-plan lessons and activities that cater to the diverse needs of all students, including those with special needs. They share resources such as assistive technology tools, adaptive curriculum materials, and behavior management strategies. Additionally, specialists from the Special Education Center provide professional development sessions for all staff members on topics such as differentiated instruction and supporting students with specific disabilities. This collaborative needs a supportive and inclusive learning environment where all students can thrive. Monitoring and evaluation is crucial in assessing the effectiveness and efficiency of projects, programs, or policies. It involves systematically tracking progress, collecting and analyzing data, and assessing outcomes against predetermined indicators and goals. MNE helps identify what's working well, what needs improvement, and informs decision making for future planning and implementation. And the example of monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring, the organization tracks various aspects of the program, such as the number of educational sessions conducted, the demographics of attendees, distribution of informational materials, and engagement with local health service, and evaluation. Data is collected on the program's impact, such as changes in knowledge and attitudes about the disease, uptake of preventative measures, and rates of disease incidence in the community. This evaluation may involve surveys, interviews, focus groups, or analysis of health records.